Hi friends, this is Loli. Today we will be having a collaboration hosted by Aurea from DIY with Aurea and Rae from One Way Designs 238. You will find a link to their channels in the description box. Let them know Loli sent you. On this collab, we will be working on a winter wonderland centerpiece. First, I used these candle holders from the Dollar Tree. They are fairly new. And even though they had that color, I wanted it to be a gold color with some sparkle. So I used this brilliant metal paint from Kryolan to give it 3 coats to obtain the color that I was going for. While these pieces dried, I took one of these floral foams from the Dollar Tree and I cut it in 3 equal sized pieces. I tried using this knife that I got from Dollar Tree for pool noodles. I think they're just made for pool noodles and nothing else. It was very hard to do this with that. It took all my strength, but I got it done. I do have to say that the knife made it easy for me to level these pieces once I was done cutting them. So once I did that, just make sure I cleaned up everything, double check that everything was level. This one still needed a little bit of a trim and I was able to do that easily with this knife. And make sure that all the excess is off, and I'm going to glue everything with some hot glue. This is a charger as well that I'm using from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to paint it or anything. It's the perfect color for this DIY. Once everything is leveled, I just take some hot glue and glue the foams towards the middle of the charger. Then I use some hot glue to attach some of this faux snow from the Dollar Tree. And I just made sure they work in small sections to avoid the hot glue getting dry before I was able to add this in. Do not use your hands to tap this down. I just totally forgot and I did that. Then I use the bottom of my container. You can also use a spatula or something, some kind of silicone heat resistant tool. Be sure to cover the entire front or top of the floral foam along with all the sides, and just keep using, I just kept shaking it off and using the excess to cover the rest of the foam there. There you see me doing the sides. Just make sure that it's completely covered. Take your time, just be very careful, and once that's done, I'm going to attach the centerpieces or candle holders to the foam. Here I'm just making sure that everything is level as well. These pieces tend to be a little bit wonky. I got different ones and it seems like they're all wonky. So I had to play around with the placement before I went down and glued this onto the foam. I also had to pay close attention to the distance between each candle holder to make sure that it didn't interfere with the votive candle holder. As you can see, it took a little bit of finagling in order to make sure everything was over here nice and level. I wanted to make sure that my cups sit upright and straight before I glued anything down. Once I was happy with it, I went over and I glued it down, and I did this with all 3 of the candle holders. I just made sure to put a healthy amount of hot glue all the way around the base of these, just to ensure that this is secure. Now I took one of these white poinsettia picks from the Dollar Tree. It comes with a piece of pine and a pine cone as well. And I just cut it into small pieces in order to secure them onto my arrangement. If you're enjoying this content, please leave me a thumbs up. I truly appreciate it and it helps my channel grow. Now it's time to place our flowers in the centerpiece. This gave me a little bit of difficulty because the hot glue was pretty thick, but we eventually got it in there. But it also gave a little bit more security to the flowers. So I just placed my white poinsettias. That was the front of this arrangement. I went with 3 at the front, and I added some silver later. So I just tried to divide this as best as I could. I just wanted it to be uniform, so I added poinsettias to the front, the sides, and some to the back. So this arrangement will look cute no matter what angle you look at it from. So here I added an extra poinsettia. I just thought it would look cuter, but I wasn't that happy with just the white, so I'm just gonna do this in layers. Well, first I used this pick. I distributed the best way that I saw will make the cutest impact, and then moved on to other picks. Some of the picks that I'm using for this DIY have a lot of glitter on them. So what I did is I took some spray adhesive from the Dollar Tree and used it to spray onto the picks to minimize some of that shedding. Then I just placed them aside to dry. I didn't want to mix the glitter, silver glitter and the gold glitter, so I chose to put these on the arrangement instead of putting them to dry with the other ones. So I'm just going to set it here where I'm supposed to put them anyway, and just let them dry in the arrangement. Then I took these picks from Walmart. They look like icicles on a branch, and it comes in it has like 2 layers to it, or 2 branches to it. So I just cut the 2 individual branches off, and I'm going to place them towards the front of my arrangement. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe. Then I took one of these picks that came also from Dollar Tree and went ahead and cut it into smaller pieces to put into my arrangement. I'm not florist by any means, but I just try to put my pieces in places where I think will look great, and which is different textures. I try to put it in different areas together with other pieces, and I just play around until I'm happy with the way it looks. Here I wasn't happy with the height of the poinsettia, so just took it back out and just nipped a little piece off and repositioned it in the area where I wanted it. Then I took one of these shimmery twigs there and I put it in between there between the 2 poinsettias, and I did the same thing on the other side. I took these poinsettias from the Dollar Tree. They're in the color silver. I cut off one of them and I placed one of the silver ones in between the 4 white ones, right in between, with 2 of each side. I then went ahead and cut some extra ones to add to the other side of the arrangement. I placed one in the corner, then took some of the white ones and also cut aside. I placed one of the white ones right next to the silver one. Then added another silver. Added some more of the gold shimmery twigs in between the poinsettias. Then I took another poinsettia and added in front of the shimmery twigs. Once it was dry, I took one of the champagne color eucalyptus twigs from Dollar Tree, and I just cut a small section of it, one of the twigs, and I'm going to place it on the outside corners of the arrangement. Now it's time to add some of these little candles from the Dollar Tree. I removed the little plastic that comes on the battery, turn them on, and place it inside of each one of the candle glasses. Then I sat and contemplated my work and thought I need to add some pine cones. So I added some pine cones to the four corners of the arrangement. I put 4 big ones. I try to put them as natural looking as possible and in angles, and I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue to keep them in place. Then I took some of my pine scatter that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I also attached it to the piece in random places. I put them in the areas in the middle where there was just like a blank piece of ice looking foam on there, so I just wanted to add a little bit of a rustic touch to it. I also added small pine cones in between the 2 bigger pine cones at the end. Here is the centerpiece all completed. I really love this one as well. It's very glamorous. It's not as big as another one that I did before, but it is simple, elegant, and just sparkly. I just love it. I hope you guys love it too. Stay tuned for the second DIY. Here's DIY number 2. For this DIY, I used 2 of these pillar candle holders from the Dollar Tree, and I used it in 2 different sizes. First thing that I did was completely dust them off, make sure that there was no residues on there, and then I took some of my paint. First here I'm using some regular white acrylic paint from Apple Barrel, and I gave it 1 full coat to each piece. I wasn't completely happy with the coverage, so then I went ahead and I used my chalk paint for the 3rd coat. Once I was done, I took my heat gun and just tried to dry it as best as I could, and then I used some sandpaper in the 150 grit to smooth out these pieces and also give it a distressed look. Then I dusted them off and sprayed them with Rust-Oleum clear coat sealant. Here are how they looked after that process. With all of the excitement, I totally forgot to do a 2nd coat of paint in the bottom, so I did that, sealed it, and once everything dried, I am going to go in and add my votive candle holder. This came from the Dollar Tree. I removed the tags off with some heat, and I'm going to attach it to the pillar candle holders using some gel super glue and some hot glue. I applied the gel super glue, leaving spaces in between to accommodate the hot glue. I then applied hot glue to all the little sections that did not have any super glue. Then put the candle holder down onto the glass votive base. I repeated the same process with both pieces. Now it's time to embellish them. I use this poinsettia pick from the Dollar Tree. It's like a greenish color, metallic. And I remove one poinsettia, two poinsettias, one for each of the pillar candle holders. And I use this one pick from Walmart as well. That is, again, like looks like glass pieces. That looks like frozen branches. Again, I snip the two individual pieces off because we'll be using one for each of the candle holders. I use the smaller piece for the smaller candle and the bigger one for the bigger candle. I just wanted to calculate how long the stems must be, and I needed to cut a little bit off of the poinsettia stem. Some of the petals were a little bit wrinkly, so I just used my heat gun to relax the fabric on the flower there, and then I just molded back up for the petals to be looking up. I just want to fold them over because they're starting to get pretty flat with the heat, and I just fold them with my hand just so it will conserve that form they had before, but without the wrinkles. I bent the head of the poinsettia a little bit forward, and I kept the stem straight, and I'm going to put it against the icicle stem as well and put them together. Then I'm going to take a little bit of my hot glue and some jute twine, and I'm going to wrap the jute twine all the way down the stems, uniting both of the poinsettia and the icicle stem together. This part of the process is important so we have more surface area to be able to do what we need to do next. Once the stems are wrapped, I cut off the excess, use a little dab of hot glue, and tack down the little end of the jute cord onto the stem. Then I take another piece of jute cord, and I'm going to use it to tie this bundle onto the stem there. Make sure to double knot this, and I did a double knot in both directions, front and back, and added a little bit of hot glue to secure it in place. Once I was done tying, I cut off the excess of jute cord, and I took some of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take a piece of it and wrap it towards the bottom of the candle holder just to cover up some of that stem. This is like a paper-like ribbon that has like a sticky backing, so I just removed the sticky backing, I wrapped it around, and then I tacked the end with a little bit of hot glue and cut off the excess. Lastly, I embellished the stem using some pine cones from a scatter package from the Dollar Tree. I used 2 pine cones and one of those seedling pieces for each one of the candle holders. I repeated the entire process with the next candle. Here they are all completed. I love how that turquoise color goes against the white and it plays with the green on the vases. The icicle stem gives it a whimsical feel. And here's the first DIY. I'm not sure, guys, which one is my favorite. I love them both. Let me know what is your favorite, and also let me know what you would like me to make next. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what's your favorite. And as always, be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. Have a great day. Bye.